Hey, this is Brian Hegney going to set up a scenario where we can land on this goal and it won't restart the game right away because we need to get onto the goal over here, right there. And so it's going to figure out when am I on both of them. Okay, and I have a really great way of doing that. There's like 100 different ways of doing it, and they all have gameplay implications. They all have puzzle implications. What needs to happen? Is your character able to continue moving when it hits the goal? Like, these are all questions that we can fiddle with even in different levels. We can have different rules at play. So in this first level, this is what I think is actually going to happen. I think you're going to make it to the goal, and then you can still move afterwards, right? So if I need to, like, get here, click on this, click on that, and then click on that, like right now I just reset the game because I'm not sure why I just reset the game. Oh, because I thought if I just hit the goal once. Okay, so the idea is, well, let me go back into the goal. Nope, not into the goal, into tile BCH. And what if I say, I'm going to have to check for a value, okay? Because right now it's going to say, I need both goals to be on. So if I'm able to hit the goal on the east and then wait for my western counterpart to get to their goal, well, I bet in the east I'll be able to, if I hit the goal too soon before hitting all the tiles, I'll probably want to move around a bit. So it's not just tapping the goal. I want to know that my eastern player is on the goal and my western player is on the goal at the same time. So this is how we're going to do it. We are going to do it in the player character. Delete. So the player character, let's compile and save this. We're not really using the player character, like we have no character. Our knight here is not a player character, it's just a blueprint. So what is the player character? It's this thing right here in Puzzle BP Blueprints Puzzle Player Character. And what we're going to do is use that to kind of store our variables. Now I'm going to have two variables, and they're going to both be Boolean. One is going to be Boolean east goal, and one is going to be Boolean west goal. I'll call them goal east for one, and the other one I'm going to call it goal west. They'll both be Boolean, so they'll both be true or false. They're going to default to false, obviously, because I'm not going to be on them. And the moment they get to true, they need to both be true. So what's going to happen here in my player character is I'm going to have, let's see, I could be checking it all the time, or I could say, I'm going to have this is what I'll do. I'll have what is that called? Custom event. Right click, I'm going to say custom event. It's going to say add custom event, and it's going to be called check goals. Okay, that's all. Compile it, save it. And when it does this, it's going to say, I'm going to say get goal east, get goal west. I'm going to say bool and, is that a thing? And multiple. N and Boolean. So it's N and Boolean. That means, are these two true? We've done this in a previous version, I think. Yeah, we just did it in a previous one, right? N and thing. And if this branch is true, if they're both true, then what we're going to do is open level. And again, we are going to open puzzle example map. Oh, I wish that was like level 1. One day it will be. Puzzle example map. Okay. If it's false, I'm not going to do anything. So that's where the open level is going to be, not in that tile BCH, because what's going to happen is instead of having this here is in delay, what it's going to do, first of all, it's going to say branch if it's true that I'm on an actor that has a tag. Now from tile BH is the western part, we are going to say cast to puzzle player character. And from the object, we are going to say get player pawn. And it's going to set goal west as true. I'm going to delay it here for a minute, and then what it's going to do, I'm going to still grab it from over here, and I'm going to say, as puzzle player character, I'm going to say check goals, right? Because now that it's reaching into the puzzle player character where I had the set or check goals function or custom event, not a function, custom event. I'm just going to make this a little bit prettier by adding these little nodes here. There we go. All right, and so it's going to do that. And if I do this on the east as well, then, you know, it's going to be good. Okay. Now, I'm going to move this up a little bit because there's something else that I have to do. And if it's false, I'm also going to cast to the puzzle player character. In this case, I'm going to, if it's, yes, I'm going to grab from the as puzzle player character and say set goal west to be false. Now from here, there is no delay. I just set it to be false. That way, when I check it from the western side, it's not going to do anything bad, okay? All right, so that's just tile BH01. So you can see if I were to do this, oh, it does restart. Oh, haha, you know it restarts because in puzzle BH01, wait a minute, why does it restart? Okay, I was wrong. I accidentally had this N and, which I don't want. The N and says, like, if they're both true, if they're both false, it will register as true because they're both the same thing. I want them both to be true, so it's and. Do I have that wrong in my check for switch? I do. This should not be N and. This should be an and. So far it hasn't malfunctioned, so that's weird. So I'm going to just say, remind you, this should be an and Boolean. I thought n meant number. Instead, this should just be and I'm going to add a third pin. Cool. And the beauty is now that I've done that, I only have to do this once for all of the check switches, and it updates for everything. But obviously it was working fine anyway. Okay, this is just, now this should be right. Now if this is true, it should open level, and of course I got rid of it because I thought it was not working. Puzzle example map. Again, this works just like, you know, making a tabletop board game. Am I on the east? Am I on the west at the same time? If so, this little blueprint code, I can get rid of the print strings when I know it's working. I'm just going to check for them every time I call the check goals. When do you check goals? When you land on a goal. How do you know when you land on a goal? Well, you're going to check to see if you overlapped a tile that has the tag of goal. Okay. So now that should work, and I am going to play it. Yay, it doesn't restart. Oh, and there's a 1-second delay, and that's why it does that. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. I will take that delay out right now. And that delay was set for my, in the check for goal, I just had a delay there because I was like, I just want to make sure it's working right. Okay. Now that delay is gone, that should work best. Now, all I have to do is set the same exact thing. I'm just going to copy and paste this into tile BH03, which is the eastern side. So I'm going to copy this blueprint, come over here, go to my tile BH03, I'm going to go check for switch. I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to call this check for goal. Double click in here. Yep. And I'm going to paste that. Control V right here. And remember, when is it going to do that? I have to go back to tile 1. When it has a tag. That's right. So I'm going to delete this count that I used to have. And I'm going to say when it has a tag and it's true, it's going to do that. And it's going to say, instead of set goal west, it's going to say actually set goal east, because now I'm in the east. Set that to true. Now the same thing, I'm just going to hit, oh, no, I'm not going to hit copy paste. I'm going to do the same thing here. Instead of set goal west, I'm going to say set goal east. Set that to false. Hook that up there. And I'll go ahead and check goals. Actually, don't need to do that. Only need to check goals when it's true. And of course, when it's false, that's when I'm going to set that. And instead of having it set to a switch, what it's going to be doing is it's asking, does this actor have a tag for goal? Compile that, save it. And so in the eastern side, I'm just going to go over really quickly. And drag a new goal right here. I'm going to set that up. Oh my gosh, do you know what I did? Number one, I found out that in tile BH01, in the check for switch, it actually should be and. It actually was breaking when I just had it and set to and. So and was correct the whole time. But in BH03, what I forgot to do is in the event graph, I forgot to check for goal. Ha 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 ha. I set up the I set that up and then didn't check for it. So now that I did that, save it. Going to play it. Oh, okay, there's an issue I just realized. Well, it's going to check for overlapping actors, and it's going to keep checking. And so if I have a set it to false if it doesn't have a tag goal, that means every single time it checks like the tile or something else, it's gonna check because there's more than just the goal there. So I'm gonna have to do something a little different, and I'm gonna show that in the next video.